I auditioned and got the part of the semi-mute drummer Chris in Peppermint Twist like months after drama school, and was wrapped. It had a really good wage, and it was part of TVNZ's drama department in those days. On the 4th floor at Avalon was a whole department, which was the drama department. And it was well resourced, and you know, I'd catch the train and I'd go into Avalon, and it was like Maxwell Smart, the doors would open, and I was just, it's that moment that you always want to have one day where you just feel, this is seriously cool. I mean, it was, you know, Avalon and it was Peppermint Twist, but I really felt special being able to go off to work, and that was 6 months of money in my pocket and having a good time. Unfortunately, Avalon's days were numbered, and it was the last drama they did in that department. And we were about to go into episode 30-something, I think. And we got all gathered up, and we were given the terrible news that, you know, that was going to be it. They were basically would just pull the plug because everyone was they were shifting to Auckland. And for me, that meant that my character, Chris, who always kind of didn't say much, but he would have like the last line, or sort of, you know, they would insert his little pearls of wisdom all over the place. He had an episode coming up in which a Spanish book fell on his head, and he just spoke Spanish for the entire episode. So I'd been learning Spanish, and I'd been, you know, sitting up, trying to listen, you know, trying to get it as exact as possible. It was my big moment, and that was the episode that was never shot, that never got that far. That was, I think we finished at episode 31 or something like that, so. Well, that was the excitement of having your first real film and a part in a film, and you know, you do the auditions and then you find out, yes, you're going to be in this really cool war film. And then it all sort of went downhill from there, really, because we found ourselves in a really seriously under-resourced film. I mean, it really was Doctor Who does World War I. This all took place in 4 weeks in one studio on a lump of dirt in Avalon again. The costumes were never washed, so every day we went and we literally put these sort of woolly trousers on that just sort of stood up on their own, and you sweated all day, and they chucked full as earth at you, and you kind of ran around. And I mean, we gave it all, but I'd have to say that we kind of, you know, that's one of New Zealand's, you know, most diabolical movies probably. Worst shoot of my life. I don't think I've ever had a worse shoot. It was awful. We were in the Karori Cemetery, and it was raining and they couldn't get the scene, so we would go up there, and I was working during the day, and I thought it was only going to take a night or 2 nights. So we go up there, wait around, pouring with rain, really cold, and really got nothing done. So we kept on coming back all the time. And I had, by about the 4th or 5th night, I was sort of semi-buried in the ground. Apparently they had told them if you dig up and you hit bones, you should stop. I had my hands behind my back. I had huge kegs of cold blood ready to sort of squirt the blood out. You have the eye things in which make you kind of nauseous, and you know, the white eyes. And I just, you know, it's a different kind of filmmaking. You know, the splatter films, I mean, there are people really, you know, you can see how they all love doing that sort of stuff, but it was good for me because I realised I never wanted to. I had no sleep for 4 days. I was cold, I was wet, I was miserable. Shortland Street is just all about to the line, you know, to every minute. You get 15 minutes, and to nail that scene, to set it up sometimes, to block it, to rehearse it with the cameras, to get sound all happy, get everybody knowing their lines, and in the can after 15 minutes, which is cool. And if you don't get it, what happens is that it accumulates. So if you lose 3 minutes off that, then that builds and that builds and that builds, and you can end up, you know, you can end up having the producer sitting next to you after a while, going, "How's it going, Murray?" And you're going, it's going great, you know, we're 3.5 hours in the hole and, you know, we'll find a way, you know. I'm really proud of Diplomatic Community. Absolutely loved going to work, and I saw Craig Parker's interview on New Zealand On Screen for that, and everyone does the same thing. We all sit back and go, where did that not take off? Because we had really high hopes for that. And any kind of comedy takes a little while to bed in, and I think by the time we finished that series, I think we were really smoking, and people had such a good time on that. And but I think that doesn't always equate. But I think the output was really starting to come through. But we had problems with, you know, the time slot, and, you know, there was argy-bargy going on all around us, and what kind of program it was. But yeah, we've always sat back for that one. Most proud of Outrageous Fortune. My God, I, you know, thank the heavens that someone once, you know, gave me that phone call and said, would you like John Lang said, come and do some Outrageous? Because I'm a Westie, I mean, I'm from Helensville and I understand that world. The cast, extraordinary, extraordinary, not seen the like since, you know, we'll be lucky. Just working on the set with that program, you knew you were getting something pretty full on. You had freedom. The scripts, we used to have the read-throughs for those scripts, and just people were buzzing just going to the read-throughs. Because you knew something was gonna pop up, you just thought, oh no, you know, how is that gonna go down? And that just gave everybody a real sense that we weren't just providing a product, that we really were taking a risk with a lot of things. Rachel and James were, you know, just geniuses, and letting us to sort of run rampant, really. And also it was huge. I mean, you would be able to tell people, if you tell people you work on Shortland Street, the first thing they'll say is, oh yeah, I don't watch that. And you think, well, there's the highest rating program. There must be some people out there. But if you mentioned Outrageous Fortune, you'd always get a great response. And I'd actually start to tell people that I would initiate conversation, you know, what do you do? I direct Outrageous Fortune. And they go, ooh. I loved Go Girls because I loved working with the DOP, DJ Stimpson. He taught me a whole new way of thinking about the camera and being far more expressive with the shooting style. Like, he actually tried to nail me down before I'd even shot anything and asked me how I was going to shoot it, you know. You have to do this, what are you going to, you know. I'm going, oh my God, you know. And so we went through everything and we came up with lots of creative things to try. That was really enjoyable. Cast, flash, you know. Rachel Lang and Gavin, thank God they're so good at casting. They'll give you a cast, and that's what I really love. I love working with the good actors. They will give you a cast that'll be right for the character, and fun, you know, and funny, and pretty flash, you know, generally. So. That's what I liked about it, yeah. As far as knowing very much about North Shore, you know, 20-something, you know, girls, I guess, you know, it's an interesting job to try something outside your comfort zone. I mean, that's the thing, other than my own stuff, I don't get to cast anything. I don't get to choose which scripts I do. So I've always gone, well, this is what is in front of me and this is what I've got to work with. So you learn to kind of make the most of that, really, you know.